Hello. Tonight's story is The Midnight Unicorn. "Where shall we go this afternoon, Millie?" said Dad as he put on his coat. Millie jumped up and down, scattering her model-making tools. There was only one place she wanted to go at any time of year, and Dad laughed and took Casper's leash off the peg by the door. "Why do you love the park so much, Millie?" Dad said. "The statue's nice enough, but I don't think it's that special. But when I stopped believing in unicorns long ago," Millie couldn't explain it, but the park, and especially the one statue, was the most important thing in the world to her. The park was deserted, and Dad and Millie took their usual path across the playing fields, past the children's playground, and on towards the statue. And there was the statue. A small grey unicorn, mottled with age and weather and slightly mossy around the hooves. It had the kindest, widest smile that Millie could ever imagine, and she was always happy when she was nearby. "Don't be too long, Millie," said Dad, and then he left her alone in front of the statue, and Millie flung her arms around the unicorn's neck. "It's only a week since I was here, but I've missed you so much," she whispered, and she gently stroked the stone unicorn's nose. All at once the statue began to tremble, and its body became soft and warm, and its hooves lifted off the ground as if it reared. Millie was surprised, but she wasn't afraid. "My unicorn's come to life," she said. "I wonder whether he will let me ride him." And with that the unicorn bent his magnificent head, and he allowed Millie to climb onto his back. And then the ground fell away from beneath him as the unicorn sprang into the darkening sky. Up, up, up they flew high over the town, and at first Millie was so scared that she could hardly open her eyes. But soon she got used to the speed and the rushing wind, and the ground was far below, and the sky was all around her was full of stars. "What a wonderful ride!" she cried out in delight. Casper didn't feel as comfortable in the air. The town clock struck midnight. Millie and the unicorn flew on, over hills and forests and lakes, and the wind came up again. "And there's a storm coming," Millie called out. "We'll have to fly fast to beat it. Hold on tight, Casper." The unicorn put his head down and charged through the ugly clouds, and lightning crashed and rain beat into Millie's face, and Casper, he flew close beside them, whimpering now and then as the thunder bolted. At last the storm cleared, and Millie looked up and gasped at what she saw. The unicorn was flying over glistening icy mountains, and the peaks flashed like needles in the sun. Casper barked excitedly. "Wow," said Millie, "can we fly closer?" And with that the unicorn swept so low that Millie could run her fingers through the snow. The air was full of icy spray as they dived, and Millie was so excited she could hardly breathe. "That was brilliant," said Millie, "but I'm cold now. Let's go somewhere warm." The unicorn wheeled, and in no time at all they were gliding through the warm desert nights, surrounded by stars with red sand dunes stretching out far below them. "Now take me somewhere really exciting, unicorn," shouted Millie. So the unicorn turned out over a sparkling opal sea. Waves rolled and crashed on a distant beach, and as Millie looked, she began to make out other unicorns prancing in the foam. To her delight, the unicorn spiraled right down into the breakers to join them in their fun, and the glittery spray, they soaked her. With the pounding wind still ringing in her ears, Millie pulled gently on the unicorn's mane. The unicorn climbed easily into the air and set off to ride a rainbow far out to sea. Millie could see that the rainbow was leading them onto a beautiful island, all alone in the dark sea, lit by a shaft of golden light. And as they got closer and closer, Millie saw that the island was full of unicorns. Millie wandered through the magical island with her unicorn, and there were rocky paths to explore, and crystal clear streams to drink from, and butterflies with the scent of flowers filled the air, and the other unicorns were very pleased to have Millie with them, and they danced around her excitedly. Casper was happy to be on solid ground again, and he played with the unicorn babies. At last, exhausted by all the adventures, the girl and her dog and the unicorn lay down on the sweet grass, and butterfly wings fanned them gently to a deep, calm sleep. "Millie," called Dad. "Millie, it's time to go now." Millie woke up to find herself hugging the cold stone head of the statue. "Dad, I've had the best adventure," she said. "The unicorn came to life and we flew off around the world, and I saw most amazing places." "You have such a wonderful imagination, Millie," said Dad, shaking his head. "No, Dad, that was the most amazing part. In my dream I could really see. I wasn't blind." For a moment Millie wondered how much to tell her Dad, but then she stopped. It was her secret, hers and the unicorn's. "I know it's true," she said to herself, and she leant forward to kiss the unicorn. "Thank you, my midnight unicorn," she whispered, and then Dad led her back to the path and out through the park gates and home. Do you like unicorns? Night, night. God bless.